Just a quick disclaimer here. I actually recorded this video twice, and both of the times there were some problems with it. So the first time everything went well, but then when I wanted to upload it, it just got lost and corrupted and the video file didn't work anymore. Then I did the recording, audio recording, but the video file is now gone. It just didn't record right, and now I just only have the audio. So this will be audio only because I invested so much time in it. I still want to give you this knowledge. So just a quick disclaimer, this should be audio only. Here's how to easily get rid of burnout and sleep problems. So you have to understand both are interfering with each other. So let's say you have burnout, it's pretty common that you also have sleep problems. And the other way around, that when you have sleep problems, you have a higher chance of having burnout. The thing is, sleep problem plays a huge role in the chances of you having burnout. Let me explain both of these things for you and give you a step-by-step guide on how you can get rid of both of them. Let's start with burnout. So burnout is usually a thing where you are overwhelmed by work, for example. So most of the time when you have burnout, it's work related. It's because of financial problems, because of your workload anywhere inside of your business, or you're working a job and you have really high priority and you need to get a lot of stuff done. Or it's usually when you are achieving or want to achieve something and are super striving in it, and then it's just too much pressure. Or for example, school could even be a thing where you just have so many tests and exams next few days and you have to do a lot of things and your parents want you to do some stuff at home, to clean up your room, to get rid of the trash or whatever. Usually burnout happens in jobs, as said. For me, I never had a burnout like this, but I was pretty close to. But the thing is, I don't see burnout as something where you can't do anything else, where you're just lost inside of stress, where you just can't really get out of. I don't think of burnout as this. I think of burnout a different way. So let me explain my way. I view stress as a muscle. So it's like a muscle, it's like your bicep that you train until failure, for example. Failure would be the burnout, what everyone says is burnout. And then you need a rest period, recovery, and the next time your stress tolerance is a bit better, is a bit higher than yesterday. So burnout isn't a thing where you come to your limits and you can't really do anything about it. It's actually quite a good thing. The feeling of burnout itself isn't a good thing. I totally understand. I know how it's like to be stressed, to be almost panicking because of stress, to have so much stuff to do. I usually want to be as effective as possible. I wanted to get the most stuff done in my day because I was striving in my own business. I wanted to create a whole big marketing, copywriting, Instagram, social media management agency. And I usually was on this trip to make every part of my life as effective and as fast, as quick as possible. So the thing is, I was in shower. I tried to be as fast in shower as possible. Then food, I tried to spend as the least amount of time preparing my food and eating as possible. Sometimes I would eat while I watch something, while let's say I check out some content about marketing, and I would eat while I watch it. Or let's say, even to this day, I use some of these techniques to save some time, because obviously saving time is a good thing. There's no problem without it. But there was an unhealthy relationship between time management and effectiveness and myself. So I just was not too effective. I wasn't too effective. The thing is, I wanted to be too effective. So I tried a whole lot of stuff, resulting in me feeling panic inside of me while just showering. Usually showering is something where you relax, where you calm down, you have, let's say, warm water, and you're just chilling for 5, 10, 15 minutes. However the time duration is you shower. But for me, it was just panic. I was so happy to get out of the shower because then I had huge stress relief. I would work on my business, etc. I wanted to maximize my output in literally any area, and that led me to feel super overwhelmed. I felt it within my heart that it was just too much. It was pretty unhealthy for me. So now I still go about effectiveness and I still go about time management, and it's a good thing. But the thing is, what you have to change is your relationship to it. Your relationship towards stress. There are studies where they had two groups of people. One group was the group that viewed stress as something good, that it was helping them, it's making them aware, it's making them move faster, focused, etc. And the second group, it's the group where they thought stress would be bad for your health. Stress is a bad thing and it will drain your health. Both groups had equal levels of cortisol, of stress within their life and within their blood. But the part of group that thought stress was something good, they actually lived longer than the average. And the ones that viewed stress as something bad lived shorter than average. So the thing is, you have to reframe your view and your beliefs around stress. Because I say it all the time, your beliefs shape your reality. It's super true. If you believe stress is something bad, if you believe you are stressed right now, for example, if you can manipulate yourself into feeling stressed. Your brain is super powerful in shaping your reality. You can feel stressed right now. You could even feel happy right now. You could feel proud of yourself. It's a skill you can develop to just change your emotions and change your view on things to actually change its reality. If you think stress is something bad, if you think burnout is something bad, then it will feel pretty shit. You will feel the same way you feel currently. Maybe if you experience some burnout, or if you have the feeling that you're walking towards burnout, then you'll still feel the same way. And this is not the solution. The solution is to view it from a positive angle. For example, view it from my angle. It's like a muscle. You're training it. Sometimes you hit failure, but it's a good thing. And the next time you even have more tolerance, more stress tolerance. This is the exact same thing that I experienced. Because, as said, I was super panicking sometimes, just showering. My mind would circle around things. I need to do this and that. I'll quickly get out of the shower, just do this and that. It was the time where I wasn't doing something, where I wasn't working on my business or working in another area of my business, whatever. It was the time where I was awake, the time of the day where I could think about stuff, where I had room for thinking, and my mind would just circle and I would just be stressed out because I had so many things to do. It was not pleasant at all. Not pleasant at all. The thing is, you can change this view as said, and you just view it as something positive. And now, back then I didn't know how to reframe my view, how to change my beliefs, to change the reality. But still I was stressed. And my stress tolerance was getting better and better and better each day. And now I don't have this feeling at all. I never felt panic in the last months. I never felt too stressed. Of course I have stress within my days sometimes. Some days I need to do a lot of stuff, or some days I have a pretty tough schedule because a lot of things just come together in one day. It's totally normal, but I never get the feeling of burnout or something similar. I used to, but not now. So the thing you can do is first reframe it, and second, what you can do is you can put rest periods between your work sessions. So let's say you work 1.5 hours, 2 hours, 3 hours in a row, just straight up one session, and then there's the next task and you just attach it right behind. Or let's say you're not really using your breaks that you have, maybe you work a job, maybe you're in school, whatever, and in those breaks you're just preparing for your next work, or you're just doing some other stuff, preparing for another exam, or whatever your day would look like. You can just figure it out for yourself what the things you usually do in your break, or you don't do any breaks at all. The thing is, you need to use those breaks for full recovery. There are three things you can three things you can do which will give you quality breaks. The first thing will be to shut your brain off. Maybe you go for a walk, breathe some air, be present, enjoy the sun, enjoy nature, whatever, just go for a walk and clear your brain. This will actually make sure your brain can just calm down for a bit, clears out all the stuff about work, about school, about whatever that's going on currently, and it just can refill. It can just refuel and then be more focused and energized when you get back to work. And I thought those 50 minutes, 20 minutes I'm doing a break, I could use for work. I could do more. But why can't I use it for learning or whatever? The thing is, if you don't do breaks, if you just work longer, if you just put some more work within those usual break times, then your brain won't refill, and this will cause your next work session to be lesser in quality. So you will have lesser output, it will be lesser quality, and therefore it just only does more harm than good. So it's better to recover in a good way and have less time for work, but therefore your work will be way better. You will get more done in the same time, you will be more effective, and your work will have much higher quality. Another thing you can do if you have pretty flexible schedule, after a work session, you can simply put a workout. It doesn't even have to be a workout. Maybe you're not into workouts, which I would highly suggest you. I do workouts literally every day. At least when I'm super sick, I just skip it because I don't want to ruin my health, of course. But when you have some kind of fitness, let's say you're running, or let's say you're doing weightlifting, which is what I do, or some cardio like swimming, I also like sometimes. Those are things you can do. But if you say, I only have 50 minutes or whatever time for your break, then of course you can't hit a gym session within those 50 minutes. But then I would suggest you to maybe do some push-ups, do some squats, or just go for a quick run, just go jog or whatever. Just be active, just put some physical movement within your day, not just walking or whatever. Try to be more physical. Try to do something challenging like burpees or, as said, push-ups, squats, whatever you can do. Because this will focus your brain on something else. The focus will shift from work or from school or from whatever you were doing to physical activity. So your brain gets a break from this stressing thing, whatever it is, and just can refuel there too. Because fitness is super important for your mental health, and it's super important for your cognitive function. It's super good for your brain just to relax, to remove stress. It's super, super healthy. Another thing you can do is put in some fun. For example, you're working from home. Let's say you're an entrepreneur or you want to be a freelancer and start a business from your home. Then what you can do is play with your child, if you have some, with your son, with your daughter. Or you can do some fun thing with your brother, sister, or with your parents. Just go and joke around or have a nice conversation. Something where you're actually engaged in, because this will also shift the focus from work, from the stressing thing, and just, it's kind of like a wave that's crushing all of the stress down with fresh water. Pretty good thing to do. Those are the three things you can do. They are super good. They're super helping me. Usually I work till lunchtime. I don't do one big session till there. Most of the time it's like 1 or 2, maybe 3 sessions. And then I have just a nice lunchtime, and you actually feel, maybe you have the same feeling. After lunch you feel more refreshed, you feel focused. The thing is, if you eat a lot of carbohydrates, then your brain will not feel pretty focused because of its effect and insulin. But most of the time when you do something fun, you feel super refreshed, or if you just go to the gym or whatever, it's just super good. Just try it out, what the things you can do within your time, and the things that are actually something that you pretty like talking to your mother or doing some fun stuff, whatever. Then you need to do recovery. So as said, breaks are a good recovery. Maybe let's say after 1 to 1.5 hours you can do a 15-minute break, or even 20 minutes if you need so. And after bigger sessions like 3 hours, 4 hours, I would suggest to take 20 to 30 minutes break. Which you can do is NSDR. This is usually taking about 20 minutes. You can modify it for yourself to do just 15 or to do 30 minutes. However you want it to be. NSDR is non-sleep deep rest. It's invented by Andrew Huberman, and it's a technique where you just lay down on the floor, or you sit in your chair, whatever. And it's designed to get you into a state like sleeping, but not actually sleeping. So when you sleep, your brain isn't thinking about a lot of stuff. Your brain is shut down, and this gets your body to recover, to heal. And the same benefits, not the exact same benefits, but from some of them are actually happening within your body when you do NSDR. So usually you lay on the floor, but you can sit as well as that, and you just close your eyes, breathe in deeply, breathe out deeply, and you just, Andrew Huberman explains it like you escape your body, you exit your body, within your brain you exit your body, and you are in the third person, and you're examining your body. Let's say everything is dark and you have a flashlight and you check your feet, just your feet. You check them, you look at them, and then you go up to your legs and the whole stuff till you can view your whole body. What you can do is to search NSDR on YouTube just after this video and check the guided meditation from Andrew Huberman directly. This is a thing I use, but most of the time I just combine it with meditation, which is also a pretty good thing to clear your brain, where I just breathe in deeply, breathe out deeply, focus on my breath and just relax that way. The exact thing you have to do for breathing is special breathing. He explains some breathing technique which really will calm your brain and will calm your whole body. You shouldn't do it all the time, throughout the whole meditation, but you can implement this for 4 or 5 times, let's say, and then just breathe normally and do it again as you like. I just show it to you really quick how you can do it, and then we'll hop on to the next thing. You inhale deeply within your nose, and then you exhale slowly through thin pressed lips. So like this. Pressing your lips like this. We'll just have like a pretty small hole where air can escape. You'll prevent your body from breathing out too fast, and this slow breathing technique calms your whole nervous system and is pretty good for some recovery, for a good break, for example. You can really use this. The next part for recovery is sleep. And that's the thing where we will get rid of sleep problems too. Because the thing is, if you sleep well, if you have quality sleep, if you have a good quantity that fits your needs, then you will actually don't really feel that stressed. Because let's say you sleep bad. My mom used to sleep bad, and still to this day she's improving, but she has some sleep problems now and then because she goes to bed pretty irregular. So sometimes at 9 p.m., sometimes 10 p.m., sometimes even midnight or whatever. Then she's on her phone right before sleep. Then she watches TV right before her sleep. Sometimes she's eating late, like let's say she eats pizza or whatever. Then some days she's just having her lights on and whatever, and some days even multiple things or all of those. The problem with that is you're not really giving your body the time and the requirements it needs to calm down. And this is why your body will fall asleep slower, and the sleep quality will be worse. So I'm going over some things which you can do, what the problems are with some habits, and then you can implement those things whatever you need. And most of the time, those are enough to get rid of sleep problems. At first, I'll go into light and blue light. So, usual light, let's say you have your flash bulb, you have your light bulbs on, whatever, just normal light, it's let's say white or yellow tone. They're not really good for before sleep, because they're actually too bright, and your brain thinks it's not nighttime. It's still daytime. It doesn't get into the sleepy routine where it knows, okay, the light is getting darker, so it's now leading me to go to this bed, it's leading me to rest. You're actually showing all the other signs. It's workday, you have to get something done, for example, or whatever. This is something where your body can't really produce melatonin. Melatonin is there for you to fall asleep pretty fast, and it's also for quality sleep, it's needed for that. And blue light is even worse. It's just giving your body more of the signals that no melatonin should be produced. And without blue light, your melatonin production will start earlier. That's why I suggest to get rid of all devices 1 hour before bed, that your brain really knows and can produce melatonin because you have no blue light in there. And when you need to see something, let's say you have a good bedtime routine, which I will go into in the further steps, then you also can put on some red light if you have, maybe you have LED flash bulbs, or let's say you have a LED light, whatever. You just change it to the darkest red you can use, because it has the lowest Kelvin level and is therefore pretty dark and not invading too much. It's like, actually, like if you view the sun go down, you know, the light will get red and your body knows, okay, it's heading towards rest time. It's a pretty good thing. You could also light some candles. It's like fire. I always compare this to the old times where, let's say, hundreds of thousands of years before, where you just would sit there, you wouldn't have any phone. The only light that would you have would be the sun, or would be, let's say, a campfire, for example, or you have a torch or whatever. But those are the only light sources you could have, the sun and fire. And so maybe let's just go back to the roots, I would say, because it's super healthy. It's way better for your overall health too, and it's better for your mental health because, as said, it's good for your brain function and everything. So if you can, just light some little candles or whatever. A bedtime routine is the next thing. A bedtime routine is pretty good for your body to know when it starts. The next step is bedtime routine. So a bedtime routine is pretty good for your body because it then knows it's now leading towards bedtime, towards rest. So let's say the next point is a bedtime routine. A bedtime routine will assure your body to know when it's time to go to bed. I usually aim at 1 to 2 hours. That's what I aim at, to have this routine of 1 to 2 hours. Most of the time I can't get those 2 hours because some stuff of the day interferes, but 1 hour is pretty much good too. I tried this. I'm doing 1 hour of bedtime routine in my day. So just for you to let you know what I do, I read books in red light. Then the next thing I do is I journal. So I journal about my day usually. Then I find some spots where I can improve. I find some stuff that went good and feel grateful for them and take pride in myself that I did them. And maybe some things weren't as good where I have to improve. And then I just can carve out some extra time for tomorrow, or I just can make new goals and adjust them based on what happened this day. Usually right before this, I be on my computer and plan my day. I do this in Google Docs, so I have this just I just have this on Google Docs on my phone and on my computer. So it's just digital and I can just use it wherever I want. Then I go to brush my teeth because I don't have red light within the bath. And then I start my routine as said. So sometimes I do meditation. Currently I'm not really meditating that much. I want to implement this again in my day. I sometimes do, and it also is pretty good. Most of the time I do NSDR, non-sleep deep rest, which is somewhat like meditation. This is pretty good for me. This is helping me a lot. And this is awesome for energy levels. But not at night. I usually read a book, as said. It's around 20 to 30 minutes I do. Then I do some journaling for 15-20 minutes most of the time. And then I most of the time go pray, or maybe I read the book longer so the time will be extended, or whatever I do. But most of the time, those are the three things I do. I always pray. I always pray. Sometimes I don't read a book. Sometimes I'm journaling a bit longer. Sometimes I'm journaling just 10 minutes, for example. But yeah, just try it out for yourself. Try to journal. Try to, maybe you can meditate if you like to in the evening, or let's say you want to read a book, or whatever you want. I don't listen to podcasts or whatever. This is a bad thing you could do, to listen to podcasts, to listen to something to fall asleep, because your brain will be active. It needs to hear, it needs to just take the data it gets, or take the noise it gets, and just, it has to think about it. And it's not good for your health, it's not good for your sleep quality, because your brain can't really fall asleep because there's always something going on. So I wouldn't suggest that. I did this a long time because I wanted to get some benefits of when someone is talking good advice, and this will go into my unconscious, because it actually is. If you listen to something while sleeping, it will directly go into your unconscious. But it's not worth risking the bad sleep. Trust me, it's not worth it. So don't try this. Just do what I do. You will feel sleepy then. You could even go and read a book or a Kindle, for example, if you don't like reading books, and just do it there. The next thing I do when sleeping is I don't drink caffeine too late. So usually what I aim for is 10 hours before bed at max. Sometimes I even get 6 hours. So it's this range. I try to at max 6 hours. But my goal is to be at 10 hours, because someday my father is just like inviting me to have a coffee with him in the evening, not in the evening, in the afternoon, my bad, in the afternoon, and then I say yes. Or for example, when I have a meeting, business related, then I get offered a coffee, and I don't want to decline it, and then I drink a coffee with them, for example. But usually the latest I do is 6 hours before going to bed. The best thing is 10 hours, as said, is pretty good also. Then what you can do is buy an Aura ring. An Aura ring will show you your sleep quality. I don't really like it, because I'm a person that kind of overreacts. Because let's say the data says I have slept pretty bad, but I feel pretty good because I slept, in my belief, pretty good. Then I will actually think my sleep was worse, and as said, what you believe will get reality. If you think your sleep was bad, then you actually act like your energy will be lower, whatever. And I kind of get influenced by this because it's actually data, it's actual data, and I kind of believe it more because it just is data, as said. And the thing is, I don't do this with the Aura ring, I just check how I feel. This works best for me, but if you are someone that can really benefit from this, I would suggest you to get into it, maybe to buy an Aura ring or something else, but the ring would be the best to just track your sleep. Another thing you can do is to generally calm down, or let's say you do something exhausting before going to bed. Not right before bed, but some people taught me when they do their fitness session, let's say before dinner, they can sleep pretty good because they're exhausted, they put out some energy, they get in the sleeping mode, and then they just can sleep better if they had, let's say, 2 to 3 hours before bed something active. Another thing I wouldn't suggest you is to eat right before bed. So I don't eat 3 hours before bed. So the latest I eat is 3 hours before bed, because this will keep your digestion going. This will keep some food in your stomach, and your body is some half active, some half asleep, because some food needs to be digested. And sometimes even when your digestion shuts off, you have some of the food within your body, and this will lay there for the time you sleep, and then it will just go bad, and bacteria will be created, and it's not pretty good for your gut health. So I wouldn't suggest you do this. When I did this, I always felt some stomach pain, and I felt there still was food within my stomach when I ate too late. So this is the thing you can do. Another thing is, which you should definitely use, which is probably those two things I'm going to tell you, are the things that helped me a lot. The things that helped me, they were the things that are the final tips that's making the ball go round, you know? It's first the time you go to bed. So let's say sometimes you go to bed at 9 p.m., sometimes 10 p.m., sometimes you go even at 7 p.m. or whatever. This is suggested to be super unhealthy. You should go to bed in the same window of 50 minutes every single day. Let's say you usually go to bed to 9 p.m. It shouldn't be later than 9:50. And this is actually suggested to be super healthy because your body will know within its own clock, okay, at that time I'm always sleeping. So we'll be prepared to sleep then. And actually the wake up time is pretty important too, and it will know the same time I will wake up. The thing is, for some of your schedules, maybe you have to wake up early within the week, and on the weekends you want to just get enough sleep and sleep in and be in longer in bed. Then I would suggest you to find a time that fits both, because this is actually unhealthy too to sleep, let's say, till 6 p.m. 6 a.m. my bad, to 6 a.m. in the week, and on weekends, let's say you sleep till 8 a.m. It's super unhealthy. I wouldn't suggest you to do this. So try to find time you can actually go to bed and wake up every single day, even if it's 6 a.m. on the weekends. Then you have to change your bedtime to get something that fits you. The second thing I want to talk about here is about the duration. Because not only to get the most time that you can get is important, but also the exact duration is pretty important. I don't mean by that you should sleep exactly 9 hours every single night. I mean that there are cycles within your body. One sleep cycle lasts 90 minutes. So your body will have one sleep cycle, and then another one starts, another one starts. The first 15, 20, 25 minutes are recovery mode, where you're just not in a deep sleep, but you're still resting. Usually people do power naps. You probably heard of it. I don't like it. I can't sleep in the middle of the day. But power naps are exactly this. They sleep for 20-25 minutes before their deep sleep starts, because if they wake up in deep sleep, they actually feel worse. They feel like less energy. Their body is torn out of rest. And this is actually something that's pretty bad, that's making you feel pretty fucked up. That's why power naps make you feel energized, because you wake up before deep sleep starts, and you only get the benefits of some recovery, of some higher energy. So you have 90 minutes. Then you have to multiply those 90 minutes to a time which you can achieve. So I usually aim at least 730 minutes. So, not minutes, 730 hours. So when I sleep 7.5 hours, I got enough cycles, pretty good, and I just can sleep pretty well, and I'm waking up pretty good. Usually I extend it to around 20 minutes to get some benefits of those power nap principle. And when I have some problems falling asleep, let's say I need 10 more minutes, then I still have those 20 minutes extra, so everything would be good. Well, let's say, because when I would just put it on 7.5 hours, and then I have some problems falling asleep and 10 minutes get lost, I will be in the last cycle, and I wake up in the middle of the cycle, in the last, let's say, 20 minutes of this cycle, and I will feel disrupted. So it's not good for my energy levels, so that's why I put 20 minutes more. The next thing you could do is, as said, from 7:30, 7 hours and a half, 7 hours to 7 hours and 50 minutes. You should jump directly to 9 hours or 9 hours 20. This is a good thing, because then you got another whole cycle. I wouldn't suggest you to wake up in between a cycle, so 8 hours 30 would be pretty bad. So try to use this, try to aim to at least 7.5 hours, and just pull within your day. You just can, let's say you wake up at 6, then you just do the math yourself. So the latest you have to go to bed, let's say when you need 7.5 hours, should be 10 p.m. 30. Or let's say you do 9 hours, it should be 9 p.m. And yeah, that's the timing you have to do. If you want to get the bonus of those 20 minutes, it would be, let's say, 8:40. And then you have those 20 minutes to sleep till 6 a.m. because there's some time passing when you are in bed, when you're just laying, when you can't really fall asleep, or let's say you lay in bed 5 minutes till you fall asleep, then you have this time bumper. So other things that really helped me to just get a good amount of sleep. I used to, when I had to wake to alarms, I would just do the math and check when I have to wake up, when I have to go to bed. Nowadays I usually don't wake up to alarms because I'm more free, can sleep how long I want. I am only 1 month, 2 months in school, so sometimes I need to set an alarm. It's just the way it goes. But usually then, because I have my own schedule, because I'm waking up around the same time, especially on school days, I wake up at the exact same time to the minute every single day. It was 6 a.m. every single day. And nowadays, because this is pretty ingrained within my body wakes me up before an alarm already. So I'm up 5:30, 5:40, 5:50. It depends on how fast I fell asleep and on my cycle. The other day I was in bed and I just woke up 5:30. Most of the times I wake up at around 5:50, 5:55, maybe even right before the alarm goes off. So, pretty good thing. Just get into it. It's the thing that actually shapes your sleep the best. And as said, a quick summary here. The 10-3-1 rule. It's a 10 hours no caffeine before bed. 3 hours no food. 1 hour no blue light, no devices. Then have a bedtime routine. Turn the lights, dim the lights, turn the lights down, dim the lights. Have some, let's say, candles or whatever light up instead of light if you can. And then have a nice bedtime routine where, let's say, journal or meditate, or let's say you read a book, which I really like and prefer. Those are the things you can do. Then have a good timing for bed. The same schedule every single day. Pretty important. Check the duration of sleep. Check the quality of sleep. And just try to optimize those parts. Because when you sleep pretty good, when you have pretty good sleep, your body gets the get the recovery. My bad. Today I'm not pretty sure what's happening with my wording. You get good recovery, and that's where the stress can be lowered. That's when your body actually gets more energy and more focus for the next day. So it's also pretty good in preventing any burnout or overly feeling stressed or whatever. Okay, this is it for today. I hope I could help you. I hope I could fix the problem for you, because those are the things that usually help people. Those are the things that help the most people. But if there's something I can do for you, just leave a comment and I'll check it out, and I just will maybe do another video on it if you need some help or whatever. Another thing you can do is click the link in my description. There will be my course where I just help you with a lot of stuff, how to be mentally healthy. It's not only sleep, it's not only burnout, it's a lot of other things too. It's whole mental health. I give you a lot of techniques. I show you the bad habits, turn them into good ones, so change them around, that you go from bad health to pretty good mental health, to be happy, to be fulfilled. You will have access to me myself, you will have access to the community, and you will have access to some group calls. And for the first 10 people joining, I'm doing a huge discount from $79 per month. It will be down to just 10. So join in for just $10. You can improve your mental health pretty fast, pretty good. Just join there and get all the benefits. See you next time. Bye.